Something I thought was interesting that I want to flag up. Interesting slash maybe scary. You can share your chats in ChatGPT. When you do, they are indexed on Google. So people can actually find those chats. And the way you do this, you should do this at home because I think it's worrying. I don't know what to think about this yet, but if you put in SITE colon, then no space, so one line, so site colon chatgpt.com/share. What that does, it's a search modifier in Google, which allows you to search within a certain site. So what that's doing is it's looking at all the websites that Google has indexed, which are chatgpt.com/share. So this is where people have shared their chats to. But what you can do is you can put in another word, so space dream, for example. So site colon chatgpt.com/share space dream. I can now look at personal chats people have had with ChatGPT in full. I can see the whole chat about this person's dream. And this has been indexed on Google. So in my dream, I receive a letter from an unknown woman by mail from America. The usual nonsensical but amusing errors occur throughout the narrative. One reason I find dreams fascinating but dismiss the premise of interpretation and analysis as asinine. And then, oh wow, okay, this is a lot of information. The setting mostly seems like the Cubitus house's southwest bedroom, where I've not been since 1978. It was never my bedroom in real life, though I fell asleep on the bed, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes through this person's dream that they've fed into ChatGPT in quite a lot of detail. In real life, I have not handwritten a letter for years, etc., etc. And it goes on. And then it's got ChatGPT's response saying, oh, you had a letter from an unknown woman. Maybe this is the dream reviewing itself, etc., etc. The Cubitus bedroom is maybe a mental archive. It's less about who owned the room and more about what it contained. In dream logic, rooms often symbolize compartments of the psyche, etc. So it has a full breakdown of this Australian man's dream. Because this person has shared it, they might have shared it with a friend, but it's been indexed on Google. So let's do another one. I'm going to do embarrassing. Here we go. Friday mood check. Again, this is publicly available on Google because people have allowed it to be uploaded. They are anonymous. So at the top, it says, this is a copy of a conversation between ChatGPT and Anonymous. So this is a person having a conversation with ChatGPT, trying to work out if it says, are you one being serving everyone or split up into multiple entities? Okay, so they're talking to ChatGPT about what it is. Do clones ever return to the origin, or are you locked out forever from the mothership and locked into whatever digital destination you involuntarily teleported into? So this is somebody discussing with ChatGPT's nature and whether or not it is one being or it's split up over multiple instances, etc. So you can do this. I'm sure I can cite chatgpt.com/share embarrassing rash, warts, cramps, etc. I can put in any word and I can find people online who have had discussions with ChatGPT about these topics, and then they've gone on to share them, probably sharing them with a friend, not realizing that they get shared on the internet like this. And again, this is anonymous. There's nothing identifiable here, but still, this is a bit weird, a bit scary. From a business point of view, you could put in your niche and you could work out what kind of questions people are asking ChatGPT. So let's say I sell board games. Let's see. Here we go. So I can pull up people who are asking for different board games, etc. So I can find out what my potential customers are asking ChatGPT and then use that as customer research. Bit ethically weird, but certainly possible. But I just find the fact that this is indexed very weird. So if you are sharing your chats, be aware of this. That's the main thing that I wanted to get across, because it's a little weird, a little creepy. Cool. So I'm going to go back to questions and then round out for the day. So season 1, episode 2 asks, what are my opinions on the Online Safety Act? So for those of you who are not in the UK, you might not know what this is. But so earlier this week, they have introduced an Online Safety Act, which basically the purpose of it is to protect children online. And it means now if you want to access an adult website, you need to provide either photo ID or a 3D like verification of your face. You've probably seen them on your banking where you have to turn to the side, look up and down, etc., etc. The problem is, in the UK, the way they have implemented it has been a bit heavy-handed and not very well thought out, in my opinion. So the UK has passed this act, all well and good. Protecting children is a good thing. We agree about that's fine. But what they've done is they have offloaded the actual implementation to the companies. So to the adult video companies, for example. So that means every single company out there has worked out their own age verification solution, which means there are third-party companies who are now taking our biometric data. They're taking our face photos, they're taking our passport, and we don't necessarily know if those third-party vendors are going to be able to hold them securely. And this means we're putting verified information, identifiable information out into the internet, connected to our use of adult websites. Now, if this gets leaked, which it will, like there will be a data breach at some point. This is just, there are data breaches all the time. This will happen at some point. There's going to be, in the next year or so, a leak at, let's say, Pornhub, for example, and whoever provides their age verification, where the names and the personal IDs of these people who have been accessing this website will be leaked. This is almost certain to happen at some point. It's not a if, it's going to be a when. So that's the first big problem. The second one is it's quite easy to go around using a VPN, and younger people in particular use VPNs. So what we have seen in the UK is a massive surge in VPN usage, which I'm all for anyway. I think it's a good way to stay online and stay protected anyway. Using a VPN is great. But it does remind me of when I used to live in China, where I had to use a VPN all the time because the internet was so censored, it was so blocked, and you'd get throttled if you went to any Western sites. It feels a lot like that, which is a bit worrying, really quite worrying. The other thing is the act is so broad that there is spillover. So yes, for the adult websites, I understand it, it makes sense. But what we're seeing now is other companies are overreacting because they don't want to fall foul of this bill. So we have things like the news now is that Spotify are going to start asking for verification if you listen to songs that have explicit lyrics. So if someone's effing and blinding in the song and you want to listen to that on Spotify, you are going to have to verify your age. And it just becomes a slippery slope. Wikipedia was the other one that has been mentioned as potentially having to verify information to get access to Wikipedia, because Wikipedia has content on it, because it has all the content. It has content on it that is adult. So it just becomes very onerous because we're going to have to continue to give our personal information to access all these websites. The more times we give our personal information, our passport, our driver's license, our biometric information to these third-party companies, the more likely it is there's going to be a breach at some point, because it is not centralized. It is, I'm going to be giving my information to Spotify. I'm going to be giving it to the adult sites, not me personally, but well, I'm not going to get flustered on that. Giving it to Spotify, giving it to Reddit, that's the other one, etc., etc., etc. We're going to be giving our information to all of these companies. It's going to leak from someone at some point. And I think if you are going to implement something like this, where you require age verification, you centralize it and you do it properly. That said, I don't trust our government to centralize it and do it securely enough. So I think it's just a bit rushed. I think anyone who talks out against it, they get shot down, because the purpose of the act is to protect children. So as soon as you say, actually, I think you haven't done this very well, you could have done this better, this is censorship, this is collecting information about our movements and our online activities, this is potentially problematic. As soon as you say that, the argument comes out as, oh, do you not want to protect our children? It's the think of our children argument from The Simpsons. When anyone think of the children? So unfortunately, it gets throttled, any criticism of it. And that's what I think. I think it's for the right reasons, but it's been poorly done. And because it's such a wide-ranging act in their wording, it is scaring companies that shouldn't have to worry about this stuff, because children are not at risk, let's be honest, with Spotify. It's scaring them into having to act in the same way. So I think poor implementation, good intentions, which could probably sum up our governments in the UK, unfortunately.